General Tire and Kumho are both long established as providing a value proposition in the market, with good performance attached to value pricing. General Tire has recently released the Max ASO 3, and Kumho has just launched the Ecsta 4X, both from the ultra high-performance all-season tire category. So we decided to test these two tires side by side with two other value-priced tires, the Hankook Ventus V4 ES and Yokohama Avid ENVigor. Let's see how they drive. First up, we're driving on the General Max ASO 3. And here on the road, the Max ASO 3 feels a little bit disconnected when you drive straight ahead, but then the steering responds much more directly as you begin to turn the wheel. The ride is reasonably comfortable over smaller bumps, but it can get a little bit harsh as the impact size gets bigger. Here on the track, this tire handles very well in dry conditions, and in the wet it displays plenty of traction. Next up, we're driving on the Hankook Ventus V4 ES. And this tire has the most comfortable ride of the group, doing a good job at softening the harshness of sharper impacts. But that trade-off for the comfortable ride comes as somewhat sluggish handling and relatively slow steering response. Like we found on the road, the handling here on our dry track is somewhat sluggish compared to the other tires in our test. And in the wet, it just lacks the ultimate grip to keep up with the others. Now we're driving on the Kumho X4 X, where the road handling of this tire is really impressive, with a tight on-center feel and crisp response to steering inputs. The ride is noticeably firmer than several of the other tires in our test, but it's not objectionable. Here on the track, this tire feels more like a summer tire than an all-season, responding immediately to driver inputs. And in the wet, the overall traction is also very good. And finally, we're driving on the Yokohama Avid ENVigor. And like we found in previous tests, this tire really strikes a nice balance between ride and handling, with reasonable comfort and a sporty feel. Here on the track, the Avid ENVigor feels stable and predictable, but it just doesn't have the ultimate grip to keep up with the leaders. As a group, all of the value-priced ultra-high-performance all-season tires deliver on the promise of sporty handling at a reasonable price. The Ecsta 4X and Max ASO 3 both have impressive traction and handling, while the Ventus V4 ES and Avid ENVigor deliver a comfortable ride. As we compare tires side by side, we find each has its own personality. It's not as easy as simply choosing between good and bad. So as you view our test results, it's important to focus on your priorities and what fits best with how, where, and what you drive. And also be sure to go to TireRack.com for our complete test report and to learn more about the tires featured in this test. Research, buy, deliver, install.